Dear Professor, dear classmates, today I'd like to share my personal reflection on decision making. Before the age of 20, I relied on the intuitive decision making model to navigate life's situations. According to Bowell and Erdogan, this model implies that a decision is made without conscious thought or logical analysis. This exactly describes how I make choices at the time. I was born in a traditional Chinese family in the 1970s. I was not taught or encouraged to think critically by my parents or teachers, so I just followed my heart whenever a decision needed to be made. In my professional life, I have worked in the travel industry, serving primarily high-end American cruise lines. These clients often request a unique program that no one else has had. In this case, I learned to make creative decisions. When I receive a new inquiry, I read through it and understood my client's expectation. Then I put it aside. Several days later, sometimes while walking my dog or even on the way to the bathroom, an idea would suddenly emerge. I have experienced many illuminating moments. It was quite amazing. I still experience this kind of insightful moments today. For example, when I need to write a paper, decision making isn't just about generating ideas. It's also about the value that guide those decisions. Since becoming a Buddhist layperson in 2015, I have regularly participated in the sutra study in our community. Over almost 10 years of learning, I have been practicing to observe and approach life situations through the lens of compassion and love. This is not easy. I always feel I have strong desire to fulfill my interests and expectations. However, with day-to-day practices, I find that every time I can put others first and understand them with a caring heart, I can achieve a sense of ease and inner peace and happiness. Of course, even with good intentions, not every decision turns out well. Let me share a personal example of a decision that seemed right at the time, but ended up teaching me a valuable lesson. In 2018, I was introduced to a potential Chinese client by a friend. This client claimed to have access to top high schools in Beijing, and I decided to develop a new market for student study trips. At that time, I was the director of Cruise and Mice and felt enthusiastic about the expected growth and profit this new market could bring. However, after 2 years' effort, it turned out that the client's resources were limited and she proved unreliable. I realized I had made the decision too quickly without conducting a thorough investigation into the feasibility of the market or the credibility of the client. To conclude, I'd like to reflect on how decision making impacts the way I approach leadership today. Leadership practice can be described as decision making practice. The job of a leader is to make choices among alternatives, often under uncertainty. Learning the decision making model can help leaders make appropriate decisions and avoid unnecessary losses. In my opinion, learning different decision making models provides leaders with multiple perspectives when they anticipate a problem. Leaders do not need to label themselves and fix themselves in a certain type of model, but should reflect on each situation and choose the model that fits best. Self-awareness, listening, and adaptability help. A good leader is not defined by consistency in model, but by wisdom in application. This is the reference. Thank you.